Great. Hey everyone, thanks for checking in with us. We're up here at the house we recently built in New Boston, New Hampshire. This is the crown jewel of our net zero building strategies here. Normally I wouldn't start one of our house tours off with standing in front of a electrical meter, but here it makes sense. This is where we track in real time how much energy the solar panels on the house are producing and how much energy we're feeding back into the grid here. So let's take a look out back and find out what's feeding these meters. So now we're on the south-facing side of this home. And as you can see, this is what's powering the majority of this house to make it net zero. Now, in New Hampshire, we're capped out at a tax credit that's achievable at 5 kilowatts of power. And so to design a home around that limited amount of solar capability took a lot of forethought and a lot of design. So in this house, as you can see, we have both photovoltaic solar panels on the house, and we also have a solar hot water collection. And then as we go inside, we'll talk a little bit more about how the heat pumps you see on the back side of this house are also working in conjunction with operating systems that we have in the house. Now, the way that this house was designed to be built, it was designed to meet passive house criteria. So we have a south-facing home. It's built on a slab. It's also built with double 2x4 wall construction. So the homes have not only a thermal break, but added insulation factors. As we go inside the home, we're also going to talk a little bit more about how these systems have all been put in place to help match what we see as a low demand for solar power. So come on inside, we'll take a look in there. So when we were outside, we saw the solar hot water collection system that was on this house. That collection system feeds into this super insulated tank. This tank system right here is 1,400 gallons. It feeds into not only the domestic hot water system for the house, but also into the central air system of the house. Now what we decided to do on this house was do a central air system instead of a radiant system in this house. And the reason for that was if the power ever went out for days or we weren't able to produce enough power, we have the heat pump system that can generate air into the house. So every system that we put into this house, we really tried to think of another way that we could make sure that there was a safety net, that the house could always be capable of producing the zero net energy that it's capable of. So the hot water system feeds into our air system, which is then fed through the house. Now when we're on the roof, we also saw the solar PV connections. And this right here is where we're really able to monitor how well that system's functioning. We have two ways of doing this. We can come in here and we can take a look. But if we're away, or the homeowners are away for at least a week at a time and they want to know how the system's operating or functioning properly, we're able to go online and take a look simply by logging into the home system. So this is where we can see again how much power the home has produced, and again we can track this on an annual basis and in real time. We've also got a battery backup system in this house. So the way the solar system was designed, it was designed to be a grid-tied battery backed up system. So we do take power off the grid when we need it, and we store it in batteries when it's coming off the roof system when we don't need it. That's also going to help to produce more electricity for the home, even on days when we don't have optimum sunlight power coming in. So let's take a look at the inside of the house, learn more about the design systems that were in there to help make this home as energy efficient as possible and help these systems operate properly. So I brought you back inside the house so we can talk a little bit more about how this house was designed to make it as energy efficient as possible. There's a lot that's taken place, things that you can see and things that you can't, that I'd like to describe to you. So one of the things that's very neat, as I mentioned before, we've got a backup to just about every backup that we've thought about in this house. This is a very unique system. It is called the Tulakivi masonry heater. And Tulakivi is a brand. It's a Russian masonry heater that's also used to help heat the home. Now we made the joke with the homeowners here that there's likely going to be times where we're going to have to crack a window because the house is so insulated that this system, as it radiates heat for up to 24 hours, it's actually, on some days, going to make the house too warm. The reason the house is so insulated is because we've used double 2x4 wall construction. And the way that we've done that is there's essentially two walls that are built, and the 2x4s are offset from each other. Those cavities are then filled with insulation. In this particular case, the homeowners chose to use a dense packed cellulose insulation and then a rigid foam insulation on the exterior of the home to add additional insulation efficiencies to the house. So we have a double 2x4 wall construction, and we also opted to specify triple pane windows in the house, also increasing the energy efficiency. The house was built on a slab instead of a conventional basement, and we did that because as we get all this passive solar light that's coming into the home, that slab actually works to retain that heat. The homeowners chose a slightly darker colored tile to go through in the majority of the first floor living spaces so that it would also attract more heat and energy into the home. So in the times of year where the winter sun is coming in through the windows, it can help to radiate the slab and also help to heat the home. These were some of the specialties and some of the specifications that we want to make sure that we capture in this house, which are all part of passive house design. So we hope you've enjoyed watching some of this video and learn more. If you have any questions for us, feel free to reach out to us at any point in time with any information that you may need. You can find us on Facebook at Ridgeview Construction, New Hampshire. You can also look us up at www.greenbuildernh.com. Thanks for checking in, and we hope to hear from you soon.